shocking statistics about how much airfare has gone up. Pricing spiking nearly 13% in May alone, not to mention the 38% year-over-year gain. Cowen's Helane Becker joins us now to discuss the airline industry, and this comes as we get a headline right now. Before we get to the inflation aspect, the CDC is planning to lift test requirements for travelers entering the U.S. This is being reported by CNN, and that you're seeing a reaction in markets for a lot of travel stocks. How big of a deal would this be for the travel industry, Helane?
Hi, Lisa. Yes, it's huge for the industry. We and others have been urging the White House to eliminate pre-departure testing for the better part of 3 or 4 months. We're the only country left to do it. There are workarounds. People are flying to Toronto, they're flying to Tijuana, and then they're walking across the land border because you don't have to test if you drive across the border, only if you fly. So it's gotten insane. And given the workarounds, it's about time this happened. And we think it's going to have huge positive effects on international travel right into the fall. Which brings up your other point.
Right. Well, that's exactly where I wanted to go, Helane. I mean, basically, you could argue, do we really need that much more demand if the sky is the limit when it comes to how high airline tickets can go? Capacity isn't increasing, and airlines are getting filled up everywhere they go. Helane, at what point do we start to see some of the price increase cool off?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I was at a dinner a couple of nights ago in Chicago, and I was talking to a couple of airline CEOs who are also there. And our concern has been that demand destruction will occur after Labor Day when people realize how expensive things are and they kind of run up against budgetary considerations. And to a person, they said they're not seeing any signs of weakness in travel or any pushback on price, which I find a little difficult to believe, especially because Southwest has had a 3-day fare sale going on. I think today is the last day of 40% off fares for the fall. So that says to me there's a little bit of concern. They may not be willing to admit to it yet, but I think it's out there. And so we're a little worried. Go ahead.
Just real quickly here, Helane, how much of this is being driven by business travel, people getting back out to conferences, a shift away from simply leisure and discretionary spending?
I think that's what we have to see now. And yes, I think that we are starting to see that business travel improve sequentially, especially as people return to office. Being in the airports the last 2 days, they're packed, and it's a combination of leisure, but a lot of business people, a lot of suits, which, I thought kind of went away. But no, people were dressed and clearly they're working. So I think to your point, that conferences are driving demand is certainly there, and we expect that to continue. But to your earlier point, I don't know where we're going to put all these people. It's wall-to-wall people in the airports. The planes are packed. The demand is really high. We don't have capacity, and yet every airline manager will tell you we're still not back to 2019 revenues. So they think there's room to go to the upside, and we'll see.